welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live show as we are going to be starting our Conference League journey tomorrow night. Chelsea host Gent at Stamford Bridge in what's our first and opening game in the Conference League officially. Beat Servette home, not away, but home, and that was enough to get us through, qualify us through to the next phase, which is the tournament. So here we go, guys. I hope everyone's well. I know it's 4 p.m, but there's loads of Champions League games on later, so I thought I'd come on a little bit earlier, talk to you about our game, because who needs Champions League football, you know? Tuesday, Wednesday nights, so overrated. Thursday European nights is where it's at, guys. But yeah, welcome along if you're here. Thanks for everyone joining. Please smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Let's talk about the game, guys. Exciting. I'll be heading down to Stamford Bridge tomorrow. I'm excited, and I don't say that sarcastically, guys. I've said that the Conference League is a chance for us to try a new adventure, see some new faces at Stamford Bridge. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you guys like I know anything about Gent, apart from the fact that they're a Belgian side, and we're playing them at Stamford Bridge. I'm sure that will be an exciting journey for them, to their away fans who are coming down, and an exciting one as well. But hopefully this one is Chelsea's to win, and we can continue on our positive streak of wins, maybe keep a clean sheet, but I'm not going to rely on that too much, because we'll see how we get on. But yes, I hope everyone's well and having a good day. It's raining in London. Weather is so lovely. Summer's officially over, so I hope wherever you're watching from, it's a little bit nicer. But yeah, guys, welcome along. Hello, Daniel. Hopefully we win the Conference League this season. If we win, we would win every single European trophy. Please win this, because we've been in the mud for 2 seasons under the new ownership. Yeah, Daniel, I agree, and I'm not underestimating this cup, this trophy. To get our hands on silverware this season, whatever it is going to be exceptional. And I think that this group of players, more than anything, just needs to get their hands on that winning feeling, be able to have some pride from winning something. A lot of these players haven't won much. You know, we've got a World Cup winner, and then there's players that have never really touched a trophy, which is bizarre. There's a lot of quality in this team, and now that we've established that we have an A team and a B team, we should feel quite comfortable going into this one and feel refreshed to play Nottingham Forest at the weekend, literally 3 days after. So this is it, guys. We didn't have this last season. We weren't tackling that many fixtures because we weren't in Europe, but now we are. There's more opportunity for players to get some game time, and Enzo Maresca will rotate, I'm very sure. Okay, can't wait for your live, Nina. I'm so excited. Well, I hope you're here, and I'm glad that you're watching. Hello to you, Kazi, as well. I would rather win the Conference League more than the League Cup, because Conference League trophies look better than the League Cup trophies. I get what you mean. Obviously, European silverware is great. It'll be one that we've not added, as you said earlier, to the trophy cabinet, and we can actually then say we have won it all, and it will be great. However, I actually do really want Chelsea to win a domestic cup. We've not done that in a very long time. I've been to Wembley way too many times in recent years and walked away with defeat. So I think to win at Wembley is a whole nother achievement in its own, and to win a cup as well, whether it be the Carabao or the FA, is not impossible at all. The fact that we got to a Carabao Cup final and almost an FA Cup final in what was a very subpar season gives me hope that this season, with the squad we have, how we're going with Maresca at the moment, that we do absolutely have a chance. And it's not about being greedy, it's about knowing the potential you have and being able to execute it. So I have full faith that we can actually get far into some tournaments this season, hopefully win the Conference League. I do agree that it's probably the easiest one on paper to win when you look at opposition, but we've never been in it. We're going to have to go away, play some tough games in some away grounds that we've never been to. So it'll be interesting to see. Taps fingers impatiently. Yeah, sorry, Mark. I was a little bit late to this one, but I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you're doing well. Are you going to the game? You probably are. And yeah, let me know how you're feeling. Maresca is a serious manager. I hope he stays long term. I think we were all really impressed with what we've seen from Enzo Maresca so far. I think it's been a while since all of us Chelsea fans have been quite united in how we feel about a manager at the club. The way he handles his press conferences as well, the way he talks about players, the way he's just very confident with what is going on at our club is absolutely great. And again, so far so good. A lot of people are still not giving us a lot of credit for it, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And a lot of people said, oh, it was only just Barrow. And then they said it again against Brighton. And it's like, okay, well, when do we actually stop that? We are on a winning streak. These are teams that we were losing to last season. Nottingham Forest is an important game this weekend because we lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest last year at home. So again, there's no small games here. There's no small wins. There's no small achievements. Everything we do is for the greater good, for the future. Everything is leading to something, and it's so hard to keep this momentum going. That's why I look at the game against Gent at Stamford Bridge tomorrow night, and I think it's so important. It's a chance to keep momentum going. Maresca said it himself that it's very difficult when you win a game to win again, and you know the fact that he is able to see what a lift that is for the team and the players as well. They're winning and they're hungry for another one. They score goals, they're hungry to score more. Such a refreshing approach. So yeah, I agree with you, tactician. Maresca is looking like a serious manager, and I hope he stays long term too. We can't chop and change once again. Why just the Conference League? Chelsea are winning the quadruple this year. Wow, you heard it here first, guys. Tactician. Look, I don't think it's just the Conference League that we could win. I'm saying that perhaps on paper it's the easiest one to win because of the level of opposition in it. But again, I don't think it's going to be as easy of a run as people may think. But I do, however, think that top four is a priority this season. So I think winning the Conference League and top four, so trophy top four back into Champions League football, is going to be really good considering the last two seasons. But to get far and win a domestic cup, I really want us to win at Wembley. That would be an achievement of its own. Hopefully Liverpool are nowhere near any of those finals, and we actually have a good chance. But we look competitive. That's another thing we weren't last season before. So a lot of improvements here, guys, and I'm glad that we're all kind of on the same page, that you know we can win things this season. Hello Dean, can you please show me your Chelsea shirts, please? Yeah, I've got a lot. To be fair to you guys, I do wear a lot, maybe not in like the match reviews, but I do wear a lot to match days, and I try to like kind of upload pictures of my shirt that I'm wearing on the day. But yeah, there's a lot of them on my social media. I've got so many from when I was younger that I still kind of wear. They're really small, but so what? And obviously my favourite one, the away shirt from our Champions League winning season in 2012. Yeah, one of the best ones that I wore when I was 11 when we won the Champions League, and it's got Lampard on the back, and you can just about see Lampard, and then the 8 is literally like ripped apart. But you know, it's obviously quality. But yeah, maybe one day I'll do a proper show and tell. I loved his answer when he was asked about loving the second half more than the first. Yeah, do you know what? I picked up on this as well in his presser, where he was saying, you know, you're judging off results. You're looking at the games where we've won, you know, you're looking at 6-2, how impressive that is. You're looking at 4-2, how impressive that is. But he said something really interesting about, he looks at the performances as well, you know, like the Crystal Palace game where we arguably should have won, the Bournemouth game that we won, but perhaps really shouldn't have won. So he's really looking at the performances rather than just the results, because the results don't always tell the whole story. We know that as football fans. They don't quite reflect what happens in the game, but the fact that he's scrutinizing the performance and looking at certain players is really, really good. And he doesn't look too far ahead. He's saying that he, you know, sort of looks at our first 2-3 games, then he focuses on the next, which again is really great. It shows that he invests a lot of time into each game, and you can see against Brighton, he spoke about how he switched things up when he saw that Brighton surprised us, you know, with the way they pressed, the way we conceded the first goal, and he switched it, and you could see, because then we gained control a lot more. That is something that we've not seen in a manager, be able to change things in a game, judging by what oppositions put out against you. But yeah, really refreshing. Only good words to say about him so far. You can only beat what's in front of you when you're looking to get top four. Every win counts. Absolutely. A top four finish, Conference League, and maybe Carabao Cup. I love this, guys. It's not even greediness. It's just being able to see that we finally should be achieving our goals and we've got the potential to do it. It's early days. We won't get carried away. But again, like the previous comment, you can only beat what's in front of you. Top four finish, though, is a must. And we're fourth at the moment. If we can just keep winning, keep this momentum going until our tougher run comes up, because let's be real, guys, I'm on cloud 9 at the moment with how we're playing, but it's a long season ahead. Tough games are coming. The real tests are still round the corner. But yeah, we are feeling positive at the moment. I'll be there tomorrow evening. Agree to. I've had enough of a losing feeling at Wembley and want to see us win a domestic cup again. Yeah, same, Mark. I second and echo what you say. The fact that those games, I mean, particularly the fact that they ended in goalless draws as well, decided on penalties twice. I mean, those were the ones that I went to, and then obviously the Carabao Cup final last year, and it's just that same feeling of despair walking away from Wembley. Like, when does it end? So hopefully we can break that curse now, because it's been, is it 6 finals we've lost at Wembley? 7? Maybe 6 now, I don't know. But yeah, it's a far too long of a streak. Hopefully one we can break. But if we got to a final last season, then I absolutely think that we can be getting to another. When you look at our road to the Carabao Cup final, it wasn't the smoothest. You know, I flash back to the Newcastle game at home when Mudryk pretty much saved us at the death for it to go into penalties. And then, of course, Petrovic saved a few. But again, sometimes you have to win ugly. But the fact that we were able to continue as far as we did and almost beat Manchester City in the semi-final. So yeah, different side this season. So hopefully we can actually focus on a lot more. And we actually do have the depth as well. Last season, we obviously had injuries, but there were certain players that were dropping inconsistent performances game in, game out, and you just weren't too sure what to expect. Now we've pretty much constructed an A team and a B team, so we've got enough to put out midweek and then feel like we can put our best 11 out at the weekend in our Premier League game and win, pretty much. I'm predicting a Mudryk goal tomorrow. What do you think? Well, Nate, I think you might be right in what you say that Mudryk probably does play tomorrow. I think, Maresca said it's not a case that Mudryk won't be playing or that he's not good enough, that it's just a case of he's spreading minutes out to everyone. But the truth here is, and I say this as Mykhailo Mudryk's biggest advocate for the last years since he arrived, the truth is that Mudryk is hard. It's hard to fight his case to get a look in the starting lineup in the Premier League when you look at the competition he's up against. The competition he's up against drop consistent 8 out of 10 performances recently. It's very hard to drop that for a player that's hot and cold and you don't know what to expect from him. I said this season it won't be good enough that, oh, he's got potential, he's not that bad. That doesn't cut it anymore at Chelsea this season. You have to be playing well, as Maresca has said, to play. He will get time and obviously the minutes in our other cup games where he can afford to maybe be a little bit more hot and cold because we're playing against, lesser opposition or whatever. But he did look good when he played. I just never know what to expect from Mudryk anymore. But again, for me, it was too big of a move for him to come to Chelsea when he did, and that's not on him. The price tag didn't help either, but I always just feel like perhaps a loan or somewhere else would have been much more beneficial for his development because there is a player there. He has potential, just not ready for this level at the moment. Hi, Nina, just joining the conversation. Hello, Louise, and welcome to the stream. For anyone just joining, please smash the like button on your win. So I'm already thinking about the win tomorrow on your way in. And if you're watching on the replay, then please, again, smash that like. Can we get to 40 likes? Is that doable? There's 29 of you in here. Let's have a look and see how many likes we are at, guys. But it's been incredible. Obviously, I've surpassed now 6,000 subscribers. Your support's been insane. Thank you. Okay, we're at 23. Can we get like another 15? Can we get to 40 maybe even? Right then. Dean, have you got a Chelsea centenary shirt with Terry 26 on the back? I don't have any Terry shirts, sadly. I have met John Terry. That's the biggest flex I have, but I don't have any shirts from him, sadly, or of him. Enzo looks at the whole picture as well as minor details. Also, he has the manager. He has the manager that we like, who makes tough decisions and doesn't get second thoughts about it. Yeah, I agree. I think Enzo is showing a lot of good qualities, kind of everything you really want in a manager at the moment. The way that he is talking about games, the way that he's managed to earn the trust of the players. I think the fans as well, we're really buying into this kind of playing style, the way he wants to play. And I think it's all about understanding as well, because I think us Chelsea fans, we went through a lot of what's the word? The unknown in the last 2 seasons, where we looked at our games, we looked at the plays, we looked at the manager, and we were like, what exactly are you trying to do? I think that question has been answered a little bit by Enzo Maresca, because we know what he wants to do. We know that there's a bit more of an identity on the pitch when we play, and I think that's a real breath of fresh air. I have the Terry 26 2011 shirt. Lucky you. Yeah, no, I don't have any John Terry shirts. How do you feel about Madueke's performance since Wolves? He should have had a brace against Palace and an assist against West Ham. Yeah, again, look, some people may say that Madueke's had a bit of a quieter spell after that. I mean, when you score a hat-trick and then perhaps you don't have the same impact after, not as in replicating another hat-trick, but even getting yourself on the score sheet, people do say that, you know, you've gone quiet. But I'm not worried about Madueke. I think that he is such an improved player from what we saw. You know, he arrived in at the same time with Mudryk, and the pathway of improvement is just so stark between the two. But yeah, I'm not worried about him. Maresca loves him. I'm intrigued to see him grow more. Which team will be the biggest threat, hardest challenge if we want to win the Europa Conference League? Well, see, that's the big question, isn't it? And I was actually having a look earlier, because you've got teams like Fiorentina, haven't you, in it? If you asked me to name all the teams in the Conference League, I probably wouldn't be able to do it, because let's have a look, guys. I'm going to pull out all the teams and we're going to go through them and see which ones could potentially cause us the most difficulty. The answer should be no one, because we should be the best team in there, but there is obviously the sense of entitlement. But I can only imagine how exciting it must be for the other teams to come up and play against Chelsea. You know, like the fans that will come to Stamford Bridge, the fans that will get to have us travel away to their ground as well. I can imagine that's a pretty special feeling. But yeah, while that loads up, I'm just going to go through some more comments. Hey Nina, which team do you think will win the Premier League first between Chelsea and Manchester United? Guys, don't you think it's such a breath of fresh air that Chelsea is kind of away from the spotlight at the moment? Manchester United have really taken that spot from us there with all the scrutiny and everything that's happening there at the moment. It does really feel so nice to not be the club that's, you know, being absolutely ripped apart with all the questions, and we're just kind of quietly getting on with our business, winning games. We feel quite comfortable at the moment. There's not too much noise around us, really, apart from obviously Cole Palmer scoring 4 goals inside one half and being the hottest talking point in football at the moment. But who do I think will win between us? I'm obviously going to say Chelsea. Yeah, I think it will be Chelsea. Let's wait and see. David, hello, how are you? It's so good to see you on here. Chelsea have to put in a strong performance tomorrow to show they are genuine contenders for the Conference League. But I think this competition is great to blood in young players from the academy. Yeah, absolutely. And I said this, I'd love to see some of the youngsters, maybe like someone like Achampong play as a right back. Why not? This is a game that you can do that, see what he's all about. We've obviously got Tyreek George, who got some minutes as well, but the youngsters really do have an opportunity to get out and play some game time. But yeah, David, good to hear from you, and I hope that you're well. I think we have good depth in terms of our midfield and attack. I still think our defence is a bit questionable. I agree, Michael, and that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive about, you know, making big statements about our clean sheets and stuff, because I do think there's been a lot of games where we have felt pressure, but we've been able to outscore our opponent. And I think that has really helped, because we're a lot more confident up front. There's still question marks and still like some weaknesses at the back, which again, I think is probably a cause for concern, especially in the Premier League. You know, we're going to be coming up against some tough opposition that have front lines that can punish you, and it's not going to be easy. And I think that's probably the one area where we still haven't really solidified what our strongest back line is. And I think that perhaps Chelsea fans still might have some disagreements. I can't say what our strongest centre-back duo really is. Some people might say Colwill and Fofana, but in all honesty, I'm a little bit skeptical still. Not about Colwill necessarily. I think with Fofana, I still want to see more. I think he has had a little bit of fault, and I'm not singling him out here. I think, defense shares the blame for some of the opportunities that we've been conceding, but I still feel like he's got a lot to prove. I think all the defenders do, and I mean, you've obviously got all the you've got all the time this season to prove yourself, but I agree with you, Michael. I think our defense could be a bit concerning. Mudryk is beyond a scrub. That's a little bit harsh. How do you feel about my 4 goals? Palmer, oh wow, blessing us with your presence here on my live stream. Cole Palmer's here, everyone. Cole Palmer, what a player. I mean, it's just insane, isn't it? It's the fact that last week, guys, I was literally saying how this season it doesn't even need to be the Cole Palmer show, because we have enough players that can score goals now. He feeds a lot of our wingers as well, getting, assists for them and stuff. But I mean, he's just that good that it is still the Cole Palmer show, isn't it? What a player. And honestly, like, I watch him at Stamford Bridge, guys, and can I just tell you, his body language after he scores, as soon as he celebrates, it's kind of like, yeah, shrugs it off. The guy's just scored 4 goals inside one half, scored one of the best free kicks I've seen live, penalty called as a cucumber, scores from a tight angle, scores another goal from Jackson's assist, and he's just walking on the pitch like, yeah, he's just had a cup of tea or something. He makes everything look so effortless on the pitch, and I think that's one of the parts of what makes him, like, one of the reasons what makes him so spectacular is because he just looks like he does everything with ease. Long may it continue. He doesn't play, he comes right back into a lineup, and he's just phenomenal. But yeah, Cole Palmer, what a gem we have on our hands. But yeah, guys, honestly, exciting times. Cole Palmer gets to chill out, rest. I hope this season he just gets to relax and be a good footballer. But he's decided to continue being absolutely brilliant and phenomenal. Hi, Nina. I like your shirt. It looks so nice and epic. Do you mean this one? Thank you. Hey, Nina, great show. Like, subscribe, and share. Yes, everybody. Thank you, Niall, for reminding our viewers, if you guys can like the stream. I know I sound like a parrot, but that would be really, really helpful. Should we have a look and see how many we have now? And a lot more people have joined, so that's really nice to see. Great, we're on 34, nearly there. Can we get to 40? 6 more. Can Chelsea get top 4? Absolutely. Betis are the best team in it. Yeah, of course. I mean, I was just about to pull up the thing, wasn't I? I get distracted so much to see which of the teams could probably be our biggest rivals. But again, guys, I think we can only kind of judge for ourselves and how we look. We've shown that we can be competitive with teams in Europe throughout our history. I know it's much different now. We find ourselves in a different time, in a different era, but we have something good building. And this is a good way to start, isn't it? We have not been in Champions League in a couple of years. We obviously miss it, but this is a good way to get back into it for this young team to play against opposition where they genuinely have a chance to beat and have reason to have self-esteem as well. So I really think that it's a great way to segue back into Champions League, especially if we win it. I remember Palmer starting against us at the end of the 21-22 season under Lampard when City had already won the league. Palmer, I said this, one of the best things about Palmer is no matter what team he plays in and no matter what manager he's under, he just looks phenomenal in every team he plays. He's done it for Manchester City. He scored in the Super Cup final. He scored in the Community Shield final. I think he scored another kind of big goal for them. Can't quite remember when, but the fact that he wasn't even one of their first teamers or players that, were kind of sensational in that regard, he was still able to do that. He's done it for the under-21s. He did it for the men's senior team, scoring in a final, even when he was not picked really at all to be in Gareth Southgate's team over summer. He's done it for Chelsea last season, this season, and if that's not consistency and that's not the best level from Cole Palmer, then I don't know what is. Gareth Southgate, you must feel a bit silly. You must feel a bit silly right now, my friends. But yeah, I mean, there's no way you can be a City fan and kind of not think like to yourself, what if? Yeah, they've got enough quality. They've got so much quality in that side, but you can't, like, surely you're looking at Cole Palmer at Chelsea right now and you're just thinking what it could have been with Cole Palmer there, but maybe he doesn't thrive, or maybe he's not as good as he is if he'd stay there. I think Chelsea really unlocked that for him. Now he's just a quality player. He was just born that way. But yeah, let me catch up on a few more of your comments, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to say as well from someone who, like, before I read on, I just wanted to say from someone who's gone to all the games, the home games at Stamford Bridge this season, the atmosphere, guys, and I know that a lot of you who don't get to go to Stamford Bridge love hearing this and these kind of takeaway, so I'll just fill you in on this. The atmosphere at Stamford Bridge is really improving, guys, and again, it's the start of the season. It's only been a few games, but from our opening day against Manchester City when we lost, to drawing to Palace, to winning against Servette at home, to obviously the away atmosphere has always been good, but to winning against Barrow, and then obviously Brighton, that game itself, it's just becoming much better. It's really improving. You can tell that the fans feel a lot happier being there. Like, there's a bit of a lift in the fan base as a whole. We saw our owners, everyone saw that picture of Egg Barley at Stamford Bridge as well, and there's this real feel good atmosphere. And even when we conceded against Brighton, it was as loud as it's ever been, guys. And it used to be the case back in the days, and like the old Chelsea fans have always told me, where we'd be losing and the ground would get louder, but last season we'd be losing and it'd be as quiet as a library, and that's what that's what away fans came to us and said. But now it's truly been rocking. Matthew Harding was as loud as, and it was real nice. So I thought I'd just update you on that. Long may it continue. But I think it's really helped the fact that it's now 2 wins out of 4 at home, because we've got obviously this little prolonged streak, 4 games at home. If we can make it 4 out of 4 with our 100% winning away record in the Prem, then that's just amazing, and a really great start. Hopefully we can just sit and hang around top 4. But yeah, really great. I just want to pull up Niall's comment here. As a Man United fan, our club's a mess, Nina. Well, Niall, times change, mate. But do you know what's so ironic? The fact that Manchester United fans came into this season more optimistic and there was a more feel-good atmosphere around their club, whereas Chelsea fans, we were a bit like, I don't know what to expect from the season. It's the unknown. And now look, it's just been 2 months in, and now look. I'm liking to see our strikers being unselfish, passing the ball to another player who has better chance of scoring. Yes, great. It's not all about the goals. It's about the assists. It's about the togetherness. It's about the link-up play. Yeah, really great. Blue bottle matches my outfit. Isn't it crazy that we're treating the Conference League like a domestic cup? It's still a European trophy. I'm really not treating it as a domestic cup. I think it is a European trophy, and we're playing European teams. We've not been in Europe. So again, the fact that even the Conference League at one point last season looked so far reach and so impossible, the fact that we're in it is still a big win. It's a small win, but it's a big win, if you know what I mean, right? And again, you can beat what's in front of you. It's like, and Charlie said this the other day when we were talking about it. He said that it was a lose-lose situation, because if we won the Conference League, it's like, well done, you've won the Conference League. Do you want a pat on the back? And then if you lose, it's like, lol, you lost against all these teams. You couldn't win the Conference League. So it's like, you can't win either way, but you can, in my eyes. If we win the Conference League, that's a win. That's a trophy. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Tosin and Colwill, I'm assuming you're talking about centre-back duo here. Let me plug in my laptop, guys. Yeah, okay, Tosin and Colwill. Interesting you say that. I think Tosin is actually a really good defender, and I actually want to see more from him. I think the times we've seen him play, he's looked quite good. There's a lot of height in that back line. There's a lot of aerial dominance. They're very physical players. There's, something that we've not had when, especially defending like set pieces. That's something really useful we've not always had. So yeah, for height, really great. And obviously Tosin's quite comfortable in the league. I think we should really push that a little bit more, see kind of what we can get out of him. But the only way that happens is if he plays, and I'm not too sure at this stage how much Enzo Maresca is willing to try that out, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see Tosin play. How are we more convinced that we're winning the Conference League when we are than we are winning a domestic cup? Because, as mentioned at the start, I think people view this as the easier one to win. I meant the blue one, Nina. Thank you, Talia. Did we sign so many players because of the fixture congestion created by the Conference League and Club World Cup? Potentially, and I think a lot of people, I mean, I don't know how true this was, a lot of people were saying that we might get a transfer ban, and that's why we were signing players. But it's a good reason that we did sign the players that we did. We had a lot of injuries last season. We thought we had a lot of depth, but actually in many games we saw we didn't really. And, the fact that we have basically two front lines or two front fours, with the 10s involved to pick from is really, really great. So I think that helps. It's certainly going to be an advantage. I'd much rather have as much depth as we do than not. And right now, touch wood, everything's going well. There's no big injuries in those areas, apart from obviously the fullbacks that I'm not going to talk about. But yeah, I think that's really great. And then that means you can kind of rest your strongest starting 11, kind of give them a week, and then play the other players, keep them hungry as well, spread minutes out much better. So great. Yeah. People talk about making new signings like a new goalkeeper, centre back and striker. The truth is they were just on loan, young and unproven. Yeah, we're not going to talk about transfers right now, but glad to see that you're doing well. Also, have you got any other content creator collabs in mind in your channel, Beth from United Stand or even myself? Yeah, David, let's do it. We've been talking about collaborating in a long time, so we should do it. Definitely. Big up, Ryan. How are you? Wait, is Chile not part of the Conference League squad? Wanted to see him get more minutes. Yeah, Maresca was asked if he regrets not including Chilwell, which was a bit of an odd question. You can't really regret that, surely. But yeah, there's not much on Chile. It was nice to see him back at Stamford Bridge come out. We did sing his song, and we did make sure that he was feeling welcome back. I do love Chile. I don't want him to think that us Chelsea fans have forgotten all about him. He doesn't deserve disrespect. He's a legend of his own. He was very important in our Champions League campaign as well. But sadly, with injuries and everything, I think that really did cause his decline a little bit. And sadly, it's hard to kind of find his way back in, and it was almost like, oh, he's leaving, oh, he's staying, and right now he's kind of in a little bit of no man's land, essentially. But yeah, I hope Chilwell knows that us Chelsea fans do still value him for everything that he did. Thoughts on Liverpool this season? My thoughts on Liverpool this season, Dan, and I'm assuming you could possibly be a Liverpool fan, is yeah, I mean, you're going to hear what you probably want. I think you're getting on quite nicely with things. It seems that there's really not much of a dip in terms of you were handed, Arne Slot was handed pretty much a very cohesive structure and system with players, certain backbones, other players that have, been slowly integrated by Klopp before he left. A lot of the kids, as you like to say, and it's kind of, working out for you. I do, however, I don't know why Liverpool fans, or some of them, don't really want to be spoken about. I think they really do like this underdog mentality that they're not actually in a title race, they're not competing. But yeah, I think so far so good, and I think a lot of that is down to Klopp and how he left things. I think Arne Slot pretty much took over the best inherited the best possible situation, as I can say it. We need a keeper because Sanchez could cost us top four. Guys, I'm trying to keep this positive, so I'm not going to talk about Robert Sanchez today. Jorgensen, I can't wait to see you play. Do you remember the 2012 final? I do remember the 2012 final. It's probably one of my most vivid memories, actually, as a Chelsea fan. Because of just how good that day was. But yeah, long story short, because I'm sure some of you have heard this story, I don't want to bore you. My family watched it with another 2-3 Chelsea families, had a big barbecue. It was really hot, obviously it was May. We were all wearing our Chelsea shirts. I was wearing my Lampard shirt, the away shirt from that season. And it's now ripped apart. It's really small, but I still love it, still wear it. And it was the best. I was actually watching the penalties through my fingers, and when Drogba scored, that was something. Ran outside, barefoot, best day ever. And then the parade was just the best part. I had my face painted blue, and no, definitely that was one of the best days in our history. Big up, Rayanne. Thank you so much for your generous super chat. Always really much appreciated. And thank you for all your support on the channel. It means a lot. Thank you. Big up, Nina, the most boss Chelsea YouTuber, top of the league. The man sees. Of course, you had to say something about Liverpool and Manchester City. It's a good time right now. Will be a very interesting game between Liverpool and Chelsea later this month. You guys have surprised me, to be honest. Yeah, well, we'll see you at Anfield soon. We have some redemption to do because that was an unpleasant away game for us last season. However, we've got a lot of redemption that we want. We've got a lot of revenge as well for that final, the cup final. So, yeah, all I'm going to say is quietly, watch out. But thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate your help, and I hope you are well. I'm behind on the chats again. Of course I am. Miss Waffle. Yeah, Jay, we've won 2 Champions Leagues and a Europa Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues. Winning the Conference League would complete the set. Absolutely. We've won it all. Conference League would definitely help instill a winning mentality. Absolutely. Up the Chels. We have Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, and the only thing we need is a Conference League. Absolutely. I'm loving the positivity here, guys. Again, don't mention Tosin Caldwell around Charlie. Yep, he doesn't want to hear it. Who's your favourite Chelsea legend? This one's pretty easy. I mean, there's 2. Obviously Didier Drogba for me, and also Frank Lampard. I mean, it's not a rare answer. You'll get a lot of Chelsea fans that say it, but those 2, purely because I have like really early memories of watching Drogba as well when my dad took me to like my first Chelsea game. Just so special, and obviously what a player. What a player, Drogba. And then Frank Lampard, again, just goes without saying. He is an absolutely legendary figure. It's too early. Chelsea might be on form, but I feel it's too early to raise expectations. Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I say, I'm happy. I say this, so far so good. You can only kind of judge how it's started, how it's going, beat what's in front of you. But the fact that we are building some consistency, something we didn't really have, is great. The fact that we can kind of really change games as well. Like the course of the game changes when Enzo Maresca makes changes where needed, when he changes tactics, bearing in mind how opposition has set up against us. If it's not what he's expected, he adjusts. And that's what I love about Maresca, is that he is very good at adjusting things throughout the game rather than rectifying things after mistakes have been made, etc. He's very good at making snappy decisions and making sure the players on the pitch are aware of that and know exactly kind of what to do. We've seen in many games this season where things change at halftime, most memorably against Wolves. The fact that we lost our lead twice in the first half and then were able to just add another 4 to the tally just like that, really easily, change the game, similar fashion to Brighton as well. Oh my gosh, I've just come back from football club. Can't wait to watch your live. Hey Liv, I hope you enjoyed football. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're well and everything is good for you. When Drogba scored, I flew off my porch. Damn near broke my ankle, but worth it totally. Yeah, absolutely. A broken ankle was absolutely worth winning that Champions League. But yeah, what a day. I mean, I literally remember the way he ran as well after the penalty. But yeah, it's funny the memories you have as a football fan. But it's great, absolutely. And I think as I've got a calendar as well, and every month has a different player on. Actually, in September right now, it's Drogba. Yeah. Right, moving on. Klopp last 2 years had us playing like... See, Ryan, you love to say this, but come on now. Cut him some slack. Klopp, wow. What a manager. Really great. So sad he's gone. Lol. But yeah, I bet you're happy. You're happy with Arne Slot. He's got you playing good football. It's not all doom and gloom for you guys, apart from the Forest game. But yeah, That's an anomaly for now. Did you know Frankie Lampard wrote a book? My friend is reading it. Yeah, I'm not read it. I need to. Are you borrowing it from your friend after? Maybe I should borrow it too. One of the highest things on my bucket list to do before I die is to visit the bridge and watch Chelsea live. What a day that will be. Yeah, Jay, I hope that happens for you. May your dream come true. I think every Chelsea fan deserves and should go and visit Stamford Bridge before, as it's still there, till it's still there, guys, while it's still there. Hopefully you are able to do that. I hope that happens for you, Jay. What was your top 6 league prediction? Tough one to predict going into the season. I think it's very easy to kind of amend that now that you've kind of seen how each team has started out. I wasn't really sure where to place Chelsea. I thought realistic or a realistic expectation an expected expectation was top 4 going into the season, considering we've been far away in the last 2. But, I said even if like top 5 is enough to reach our goals, get us back into Champions League football, that would be fine. It's tough to do. It really is tough to do. I think Manchester City, with everything that's going on with like the charges and the whole case that's now kind of going on, you don't know how that's going to affect them. Injuries could be a big blow for Manchester City now as well. I think that's going to be a real question of can they continue this kind of depth that they show. But Man City or Man City, even last year I said I'm not too sure if Man City being Man City is going to be enough for them to win the league, and then it literally just was again. So yeah, but I don't know. I'm not going to do a top 6 prediction right now, but Man City probably will win it again, won't they? I do think Liverpool are going to be in and around it though like they were last year. I think the pressure is probably on Arsenal the most though, because you're now kind of looking at if Man City have big figures out this season, they've been challenging. This will be like what, 3rd year. The pressure's on them, if anything, ultimately. But yeah, we'll see how it goes out. But I think top 4 for Chelsea is realistic now. We could finish top 4, definitely. Oh, sorry, this has frozen. Right then, moving on. If we win the Conference League, I believe we'll have won everything. It will be another trophy in the cabinet. Absolutely. Hey Nina, hey Eunice. I hope you're well. Just got home from college. Up the Chels tomorrow. Yeah, Eunice, up the Chels for tomorrow. Hope college was good. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, hopefully it's a good game, guys. Yay, we're past 40 likes. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I'm borrowing it after, but it is my school's book. Nice. I love that your school's got the book. That part stings a bit while it's still there, given all the owners' drama they need to sort their squabbles out. Yeah, absolutely. That is a big unknown still, what's happening with Stamford Bridge, what the future looks like for us, but I'm not too worried. We'll see how it goes. I think for me, obviously, Stamford Bridge, there's a big sentiment there. The fact that even when I was younger and I went there, it looked huge. I obviously grew up and realised that we've got one of the smaller stadiums, Premier League stadiums that, are around. But it is our stadium. It's obviously so special for so many reasons. But yeah, I hope you can come down and see it while it's still there. Oh, just spilled some water. Whoops. I'm a bit scared this season because we did not start off so good. I'm confused. Do you mean results-wise or performance-wise? What are you worried about, Liv? What's on your Chelsea bucket list that hasn't happened yet? That's a really good question. I think in terms of as a fan, it's probably as a fan, I'd say going to like a European away day as a Chelsea fan in the Champions League, that'd be amazing. But yeah, because I don't really go to many away games. I do like the away games in London, most of them, but I've never been like abroad to watch Chelsea. So I think that is on my bucket list, to watch Chelsea on a European away day. That would be pretty high up there. And I don't know, probably like meet more players, meet Chelsea players. That's a really good question though. And obviously, yeah, just see us win the Premier League again. That'd be great. Thank you. Jurgen is like my second dad, but he was finished last 2 years. Had us playing a style of football known as run and give it to Trent. College going well. Enjoy your evening. Thanks, Eunice, and you. A lot of my family is British, and would you believe I have only just last year? I only found out last year that one of my aunts worked at the bridge. My jaw dropped on the floor. Wow. Yeah, that would make my jaw drop to the floor as well. But fair enough. I'm assuming that you don't live in the UK. The results. I think the results have been really good, Liv. Maybe you're talking about the defeats, or maybe you're talking about some of the results like Man City, maybe, but that was the opening game, and I think, it was still a game that we were very much in. And again, when it comes down to playing Manchester City again away from home, hopefully we look much better and can get some goals against them again. Hello, hey, hope you're good. What do you think of the new Champions League format? You know what? I was thinking this yesterday because I was watching a bit of the Arsenal PSG game. I switched to watch a little bit of the Barcelona one. I kind of switched around, and I just thought to myself, even the atmosphere doesn't sound that great at these Champions League games, because I feel like fans know that it's like you can afford to lose a lot of these games right now and still go through. Like, you could lose 3 games and still be fine. And it's the fact that it's all kind of in a big list as such, that it doesn't really have much meaning as where everyone's kind of at. And I think, you did really feel the kind of sense of urgency with the traditional group stages that were previously, because each game did mean something and you knew kind of who needed to do what. And I think the games were a little bit more important, if that makes sense. I think you feel right now that you can afford to be a little bit reserved in some of these games and, protect your players, or like, I don't know, protect your energy, whatever, if that makes sense. And I think you can really feel that from the games. So I don't know, I'm a little bit skeptical still. It's easy to say though when you're not in it, like, because we're not in the Champions League right now, I've not really dwelled too much on how that makes me feel. But yeah, as a neutral watching some of the games, it's a bit like you can tell that some of the players and even the fans know that it's not the end of the world if you're not dropping man of the match performances and winning and killing games. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but I'm sure when it eventually proceeds to the knockout stages, it will get a little bit more interesting. But I just don't see it as that competitive at the moment, if that makes sense. Imagine losing 3-0 at home to Spurs. I'd find another sport if that was my club. Ryan, I love how you've just brought the chaos to the chat. Us Chelsea fans are all here enjoying our little positive spell, and you're just like, but to be fair, it's not on us. So yeah, you do you. I can't imagine losing at home to Spurs 3-0 though. So don't know what that's like. We will win tomorrow because we are Chelsea. The mighty blue, as always. Love from Florida. Love to Florida, Mark. Thank you for joining. Jamaica, great. Jay, that's interesting. Are there a lot of Chelsea fans in Jamaica? Do you have is there like a fan club there? What's it like? Do you have like many Chelsea friends there? Hello. Man City fan in the house. Hope you're good. What are your thoughts on Maresca? Really good, thank you. I'm very well. My thoughts on Maresca, so far so positive. I only have good things to say about him. The way he speaks and kind of keeps us very much in the know with what is happening, like kind of the plans he has for the club right now, how he sees the players, etc., is really, really positive. I can see a clear playing style. I can see a clear identity. His substitutions make sense. They're very well timed. He's very good at spreading minutes out. And yeah, I just feel very, very positive and safe at the moment. I think it'll be interesting to see how he deals with a dip in form and a dip in like results. So when it comes around to eventually playing some of the the traditional top 6 sides, when it comes to playing the tougher away games, I think it'll be interesting to see how he responds to that, because let's be real, guys, we're on a high right now, but there will be lows. And while hopefully they're not as extreme as they were in the last 2 seasons, they will be there, and it will be interesting to see how we bounce back from them, because we're still yet to see that, right? Yeah, obviously we lost our opening fixture, but there still has not really been a case where Maresca's really had to respond to an absolutely terrible result. So that's good for now, but, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. I know that there's still tough days to come, and it will be interesting to see how he handles himself, the team, the club, everything then. But really happy at the moment. And considering I was like, really, Enzo Maresca coming to Chelsea, I was like, this appointment doesn't sound right. I am happy. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Is exactly what I've essentially taken away from this. But yeah, really, really good. So far, so good. Hashtag sell Sanchez. If you're Hannah, ask why, because he hasn't really played, but Petrovic is really good, so not too sure what he's doing. I spelled sure or wrong. It came up with Spurs. How I feel about Sanchez. Yeah, I still feel a bit unsafe with him in goal. But Maresca's made it clear that he is here to stay as a first teamer, so there's nothing we can do about that right now. My god brother is a Man United fan. I believe I've been getting my jokes in after that Spurs defeat. Yeah, I think we all have. What if Poch stayed? Well, what if Poch stayed? Pochettino. If Pochettino had stayed, then we probably would have been faced with the same problems, maybe. But as someone who didn't understand why, why they kind of separated ways at the start, because I just thought, we've chopped and changed another manager. Didn't really understand it at the start, but now I'm just like, Poch, something of the past. Something that, Maresca is really working his way to install his own print, and it's working. So honestly, I don't even think about Poch anymore. He's that ship has sailed. He's a no-nonsense coach. He doesn't waffle, Nina. Absolutely. Agree with you. It feels like there aren't enough stakes. Also, too many games. Players are being seriously burnt out at the top level. Yeah, I agree. And, they said it will be more entertaining, and they said this and that. But for me, Champions League football is entertaining when the stakes are higher, when it means more. You even saw the pressure with when the away goals counted as well. But now it just feels like teams can kind of pick and choose which game they take more seriously, which games they kind of field stronger players, if that makes sense. And it just feels a little bit too, meh. But yeah. Since being a season ticket holder at Stamford Bridge, what has been some of your biggest highlights watching Chelsea at the Bridge? And also, who are your favourite football content creators? Since being a season ticket holder, some of the biggest highlights watching Chelsea at the Bridge, certainly this season, the improvement in the atmosphere. As I said earlier, there's a much more upbeat kind of thrill to Stamford Bridge. People, even before the games at halftime, generally look a lot more positive. There's a much nicer togetherness in the club as well across the fans. There was a lot of kind of empty seats towards the end of last season as well, people selling their tickets. So for me, as a regular matchday going fan, it's been really nice to see a lift in the home atmosphere, because I know that the away atmosphere is always great, it's always good, but it's not been the case at Stamford Bridge recently. So certainly that, and of course witnessing Cole Palmer score 4 goals inside one half has got to be the highlight of the season so far, because what a player. And to answer your second question, who's my favorite football content creators? Honestly, there's so many, too many to name. There are a lot of creators. David, you'll be one, though, of course. Keep up the good work. Amazing content from you. What value would you put on Cole Palmer? He's on fire. Hi, Matt. What value would you put on Cole Palmer? If you mean price tag, kind of what he costs right now, 7 billion. Joking, not joking. He's invaluable. He's not for sale. Let's make that clear. But his price tag has risen. You now look at 40 mil. That kind of feels like a steal with actually what you're getting at the moment. So I think that, the fact that we're able to sit here and say we've actually made a really good, not a profit, but we've been able to really get the best out of a player that costs 40 million and more is great. I'd say though, in future, if he continues the way he is, you're looking at someone that's going to cost probably more than 110 million. Is that absurd to say? And when you look at how like players right now get priced these days, and particularly like wingers in his position, it wouldn't even be absurd to go higher than that. I hate Chelsea, but my hatred for Manchester United is too deep. Thanks. Is that a compliment? Chelsea is a very popular club here. There are very few Chelsea fans in my family, though. Is the British percent of my kin are from Liverpool, Manchester, North London? Quite the mix. Gravenberch, Caicedo, no. Hi, Nina, random question. Sorry, I just froze there. Random question. As I saw this being asked on another platform, out of the whole squad currently, which 10 players would you be desperate to keep? Can include injury concerns and low knees. That's a really good question. 10 players. Okay. Okay. Cole Palmer, hanging on to him for dear life, of course. Christopher Nkunku, I'd hang on as well for dear life. Reece James, again, if you're saying I can include injury concerns and everything, injured player. There's so many players, guys. This is a really tough question. I'd keep Colwell because I think there's a player there that is going to be, you know, a really good defender in future. Is that 4? Nani Madueke, I'd keep 2. I'd keep Enzo. I'd keep... Oh, guys, this is really hard to keep 10. If I could hang on to, though. So this means essentially not letting go of them, not selling them. Is that what you mean? Okay, is that 6 then I've named so far? Okay, that's 6. Malo Gusto, I'd say 2. So that's 7. Did I say Caicedo? I don't know if I said Caicedo. Is that 6 or 7? And then, Nicholas Jackson, of course, is someone that's been his biggest critique. I don't want to let him go now either. So is that 8? I can't keep counting anymore. So, and then another 2. Oh, but you said low knees as well. Oh, that's really tough. That is really tough. Because then I look at players like Joao Felix, I look at Pedro Neto. These are players I didn't really ever see coming to Chelsea right now. And I can't say that, you know, I mean, they're both amazing players, but I can't say right now or like even 2 months ago that they would be irreplaceable. I'll come back to you on the last 2. There's so many players to think about. Oh, God. Nina, are there some lesser-known Chelsea content creators you would recommend? Lesser. No one's a lesser known. Oh, as in, okay, so someone that's more unpopular. Let's have a look. There's some absolutely great creators out there. There's obviously loads that are kind of just starting out. You guys are really putting me on the spot with these questions right now, guys, because I've got to think about these. That's the content creators, certain clubs, certain sports, or do you mean like Chelsea, other content creators? Do you mean just football creators in general? Let me know and I'll have a think. I'll come back to you. I love how this has really just turned into the most random conversation ever, guys, as we come up to the 1 hour mark, but fair play, guys. Chelsea has an unfortunate problem of a manager revolving door. Give a manager an actual 5 seasons. Yeah, well, hopefully this one's going to be the one. Would you rather see the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge or keep it the way it is now? Look, it'll be really nice to obviously have a bigger stadium, have a bigger capacity. It's obviously great, but, you know, if we can kind of keep the very basic kind of idea of Stamford Bridge structure, that would be really, really great. Like, I obviously understand the reasoning behind rebuilding and perhaps not being able to transform Stamford Bridge because the space just doesn't allow it with the space that is currently in. But the sentimental Chelsea fan in me says keep it the way it is now. But I do understand obviously why we are looking to rebuild. Ryan, don't say Hussam is one of your favourites. Wow, Ryan, you're really on a mad one here, aren't you? I've got nothing against Hussam. Great guy, great creator. Please don't say Hussam, I hate that clown. Hey guys, that's not very nice. Basically the ones you must keep. Okay, yeah. Well, again, the players I did say, they are must keeps, currently doing the absolute best. Oh, thank you. You've actually given me my list here. Palmer and Kunku, Cole, Caicedo, Jackson, Medway, Augusto, James so far. Who is even out on loan now? We've got Santos, who's out on loan. There's obviously the Brazilian wonder kid that's coming next year. There's who else out on loan? Esteval. Esteval, yeah, I'd probably keep Esteval as well because I mean, what a talent he is, and we've seen him recently be involved in a lot. Didn't really understand it at the start when we kind of went in for him, but seems like someone for the future to hold on to. And then does that bring it up to 10? Yeah, and hopefully that Reece James in there as well. Like, hopefully that's like the Chelsea fan in me can just not let go of Reece James right now. Please come back, Reece. Please stop being injury prone. Please, just be fit. But yeah, thanks, Luke. That's a really good question. Cole Palmer is at Neymar levels of price tag right now, 250 million. Not even joking. I.e., no one can afford him. Yeah, and most important thing is he is not for sale. It's surprising how difficult it is, especially if you include players on potential too. Santos, exactly, Kendra Priors and Esteval. Exactly, yeah. And again, Esteval and Priors, two really talented players for the future. We know we've been looking to build for the future, and from what I've seen and like especially over summer, and their impact for their current clubs is really quite great. It's exciting what they'll be able to bring. And I know we're looking for the future. Some players will move on. This is a very kind of young squad, and it's a developing one. It believes in the youth. So, yeah, it'll be great to hang on to these. But, yeah, off the top of my head, Cole Palmer for sure. Hanging on to him for dear life, guys. Whew. Whereas if I was asked to ask you for 10 players 4 or 5 years ago, it'd be fairly easy to name 10. Exactly, Luke. And I think that's actually a good indication of how far we've come, which is great. It's been a great stream so far. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad you've enjoyed. We've just passed the 1 hour mark. For those of you who have been here for a while, or from the beginning of the stream like you, Mark, thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot that you guys tune in to just listen to me waffle through a screen at you guys for this long. I appreciate that it's obviously early. A lot of you probably have had work, have had college, school, whatever everyone's kind of day-to-day life is like. So again, thank you. I always like to say that I really appreciate everyone's support. So I can't go without saying it. But yeah, Mark, thank you. Chelsea is the underdog for the Premier League this season. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Yeah, Mark, love Stamford Bridge as it is now. It's a unique stadium, and I think that's why we love it. I think that's why it means so much. What about minerals for content creators? He's certainly an interesting one. He's certainly like no other, I must say. But I guess every content creator has their their kind of special brand, as you like to say, or their little like niche of what they do. But honestly, there's great creators out there. It's hard to name 1 or 3 or 5. Everyone's different in their own way, and everyone's good at what they do in their own way. Reece looks similar. Oh, Reece looks slimmer, to be fair, on him on recent pics. Oh, he lost a lot of muscle, which is good, I think. Yeah, I hope so. It really just is sad, but hopefully he can come back stronger. Honestly, it just feels like every manager we've had previously has also got kind of part of blame to take because they've always rushed Reece James back very quickly, and that's just a testament to how good and how important of a player he is to our squad, that we need him so bad that we are willing to risk him not being completely recovered but playing just so that we're not missing him. And sadly, that's really contributed to his lack of recovery, and it seems that it's become a chronic thing because, again, here we are. Nina, you've missed my question. Really sorry, guys. Sorry, yeah, if I missed your question, I'm sorry. I am trying to get through a lot of them. And again, thank you for getting your comments in. But what was your question? I'm tired of Walker, Nina, seriously. Is that your question, that you're tired of Walker? I'm so sorry to hear that. Lol. Chelsea content creators, but if you have general football content creators in mind, please share. Well, Chelsea content creators on YouTube, I probably, like many of you guys, watch Matisse, Eunice, George Benson, obviously some of the bigger creators. But yeah, just really great content from them. Elizabeth, of course, as well. I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with Elizabeth too. In terms of, I'm just having a look. Of course, a lot of you guys watch Charlie, obviously Blue Brother, obviously Chelsea Fan TV. Big shout out to our channel there as well. For those of you who don't watch, I'm just going through like who I'm subscribed to. For Chelsea creators, those obviously I watch Football Therapy too. There's obviously Dan as well, BDB Dan. For those of you who don't know, Dan's a good friend of mine too. He makes content about Chelsea. Blue Lions TV, obviously another one I watch, quite a big channel too. Shout out to Ziad as well. Ziad makes content now too. In terms of other like kind of general obviously Carefree Lewis, I think a lot of you guys watch him, but Lewis is a good friend of mine too. In terms of general like football channels, obviously Footy Judge Mo, shout out to Judge Mo. I sometimes appear as a guest on his channel, but yeah, he's a really good creator too. I, like many of you probably, I watch the Big Six too. There's so many guys. So many. James Alcott as well, I watch. And then obviously like the big mainstream ones as well in some of their podcasts. In terms of like podcasts, I say probably the Athletics Football podcast is one of my favourites. But up and upcoming content creators, to answer whoever asked me about that. Wow, this has proven to be a big task, guys. And in terms of like other creators, I watch obviously Alice Talks Football. She's a big Man United fan, but her insights are great, and she's awesome. Bit unlucky that she's a United fan, but yeah, she's really great. But yeah, guys, there's loads. There's so many out there, and I'm sure you guys have your own creators. Let me know, obviously, who your favorites are. Great stream. Thank you so much. Chill stream. It's a vibe. Having breakfast. Enjoy your breakfast. What are you having? We have no chance of winning the league. It's not an underdog thing. All right, then, if you say so. Unfortunately, I'm starting to forget that James exists, except for his sister. Don Eunice. Yeah, of course, shout out to Don. Don is Don's a good friend of mine too. Don makes a lot of content on Chelsea too. Yeah, I'm forgetting loads. It's not just one or two. There's so many creators out there that are doing a great job. Nina, who was your favourite City player you've watched when growing up as a Chelsea fan? It's hard not to say Kevin De Bruyne, because obviously as a Chelsea fan, there's a little bit of an extra attachment there. Fighting back tears, I'm joking. But yeah, definitely De Bruyne, just because how exceptional he is and what an amazing footballer. Other players in the past, I mean, can't lie, growing up watching some of like Aguero's goals as well, pretty fantastic. As a youngster, who else? City player. Obviously Rodri, that goes without saying. Rodri's a fantastic footballer. George Benson. Yeah, George Benson's always a good shout. There's a lot of fans that watch George Benson. I believe he's probably one of the bigger Chelsea content creators out there. And he doesn't even live in or anywhere near London anymore. He does come occasionally, I still think, though. Sometimes he comes to the UK, but still he follows Chelsea very closely. When did you start supporting Chelsea? I was born into a Chelsea household, guys. So I was supporting Chelsea as I was born. That decision was already made for me. I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, parents, family, grandparents. It does go way back in my family. So yeah, always been a Chelsea supporter. Lewis, Minerals for me, best content creators. Matisse, yep, good shout for Matisse. Top Dog, thank you so much for your super chat. What makes you and Charlie my favourite on here is you keep it 100% and on. Click rage baiters keep on being awesome. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thank you for your support. And yeah, I know you've been supporting the channel, watching it for a while. Again, I do notice you guys, those of you who watch me and comment, engage constantly, I do know who you guys are. It does really mean a lot that you guys watch and support my channel. So thank you so much. And yeah, we keep it real. You know, obviously, like the last 2 seasons have been pretty, they've been pretty tough, but I guess like creators, especially in the space and just making content, being able to share it with everyone has definitely helped. It gets the feelings out, you know, being able to talk to other Chelsea fans, football fans, etc. But yeah, thank you, of course. Keeping it real. I'm not really interested in baiting anyone to come in and watch anything. It's very much me just letting you guys know how I feel about certain things that happen about the club we support. But thank you. It really means a lot. Thank you for your support. There was an interesting item on The Athletic about our boy Cole Palmer recently worth a watch. I've already seen it. I think it was called Is He the Best Player in the Premier League or something of that sort, if I'm not wrong. I did watch it. Absolutely great. And again, for him to just be such a hot topic, he's in everyone's mouth, he's in everyone's conversation, and deservingly so. He's absolutely fantastic, isn't he? Only thing with Alice is hoping Palmer will replace Bruno in 2026. No, that can be a dream, but it's not happening. Love Alice, the secret Chelsea fan. Spicy scrambled eggs and chicken sausages. Interesting. I started supporting Chelsea out of spite because my brother lives next door and he's an Arsenal fan. Well, I guess you're supporting the better team, so that's good on you. Thoughts on the United downfall? I'm loving it. Well, look, I am very much focused on Chelsea, but it will be a lie if I say that, you know, other clubs like Manchester United not doing well doesn't give me a little bit of joy, considering the fact that, you know, they spent a lot of last season claiming that they were doing much better than us. Obviously, they spent a large amount of the season above us in the table, but that quickly changed. But again, I'm so focused on Chelsea right now. I don't really care. Everyone can get on with it. As long as my club's doing well, I'm happy. Yeah, but I'm sure you're enjoying it a little bit more because you're a City fan. So yeah. But guys, we'll round this out shortly as we've surpassed the 111 mark. For everyone that's still here, still watching, thank you so much. Obviously aware that games are starting soon, and I'm sure a lot of you will be watching them, but yeah, the most important game is tomorrow. Yeah, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea vs Gent, blockbuster game. Big up to you too. Me too. I like United downfall. I hope Eric Ten Hag is not sacked. Thoughts on Torres at Chelsea? He broke my heart. I was only 11. Oh, so sad. Fernando Torres, yeah, what a player. I've got a lot of memories watching him, actually. I just loved him. Torres is that player that, you know, he brings the entertainment as well. You know, and like different football fans have different opinions on Torres, but yeah, I rated him. He's been so clutch. He was so clutch in so many moments. But yeah, what a player. And there's certain kits that just, you know, have you guys seen, I'm sure you've seen it on social media when like people post a shirt like from a season and they say, oh, which player comes to mind as you see the shirt, and there's a lot of them that just remind me of Fernando Torres. The last 2 seasons have been rough for us Chelsea fans. That's why I'm so hesitant to get carried away. Absolutely. But, you know, you can only kind of be happy about sort of what's happening at the moment. So, yeah, enjoy it. We'll be fine. Nina, did you see Havertz's comment? He must be stopped. I hope Chelsea beat again and Arsenal. Yeah, I'm not really interested in Havertz, to be honest with you guys, anymore. It does not make me feel any certain way. Crack on. You do you. I'm focusing on my current club. But yeah, I did think it was a bit of a funny comment. Lol. Peace out. Yes. Villa Bayern prediction. What a game. I'm so excited for that one, actually. Tough one, isn't it? I mean, Bayern Munich, goodness me. We talk about the new format, but when you look at that result, I mean, what was it? 8-2, 7-2, 9-2? and it could have been like 13. Absolutely great, but it's really exciting. I think that is sorry guys, I've just seen something. Yeah, I think that'll be a really, really interesting game. Obviously really exciting. I think, you know, Villa have a bit of edge because they're at home, but again, this is such a new thing for them to have and host Bayern Munich, the European giant that they are, is going to be quite intimidating for them, I definitely think. But they've got reason to have self-esteem and have a good go. This is probably the game that they look at in this kind of series of games since the new format has obviously been introduced, where this is the game they look at. This one has importance, you know, this is the game that they're going to look at in their run and feel like they've got to field the best players. They've got to, you know, have the best mentality going into this one. But I think we're in for a bit of a treat. I will edge. It's a hard one. I'll edge Bayern, but with a narrow scoreline is what I'm going to say. And I think it will be entertaining. I cried when Torres left. He actually thinks he'll win the Champions League with Arsenal. Not going to lie, Havertz is a funny guy. He's a funny guy. He can be a funny guy. At least he makes us laugh. What's your predictions? Chelsea versus Gent and Porto versus Man United. Right then. Okay, let's round out then with some score predictions, and we can call this one a night. Chelsea versus Gent. It's hard to predict because, again, I said at the start, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything really about Gent apart from the fact that they're Belgian. I don't really know kind of what form they're really in, how the season has kind of started out for them, or much really about their history and about their attack as such. So I can't really with chest say that we can keep a clean sheet against them. But I can confidently say that we could beat them. And Charlie made me do a score prediction on his channel, and I did say 3-1 to Chelsea, just not to be a little bit like, you know, what's the word? Not have a big ego is what I'm going to say. 3-1 to Chelsea, and Porto versus Man United. You know what, guys? This is the thing with Manchester United. I would not put it past them, even with everything that's happening right now, for them to pull out something against Porto. And yeah. I don't know. It would just be so fitting with everything that's going on right now at their club and everyone pointing fingers at Ten Hag. I think most of the fan base is now leaning towards the Ten Hag out hashtag, but there are maybe a kind of a few fans that will say, oh, give him Porto, give him Aston Villa, see how he goes. And yeah, it just would be the most Man United thing if they beat Porto. But I hope Porto win. Who is the most under the radar former Chelsea player in your opinion? Do you mean like who's the most underrated, or who's someone that is not really getting a lot of scrutiny and hype at the moment? To answer both, under the radar. Who is under the radar? I'd say maybe in terms of... I'm going to defend Enzo Fernandez in this one. I'd say maybe his performances have been getting a bit overlooked. It's easy to say when he's not having a great game, but it's also tough for fans to say when he is having a good game. And I just think, I don't know, he divides a lot of opinion. So I will defend Enzo Fernandez. I think there's a player there. And I think a lot of the time his impact in games goes unnoticed. I'm thinking... But in terms of someone that goes under the radar in terms of probably doesn't get enough praise for what he's doing, I'd probably say Caicedo. He didn't have the best game against Brighton, but I think, you know, his improvement and the upward trajectory he's been on has been really, really great. And I think that there's certainly a player that's settling into this Chelsea side now, guys. But yeah, I'm going to round this one out now, guys. An hour 20. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned into the show. Thank you for making it interesting by giving your insights, asking the questions that you did, really making me think as well, guys. That doesn't happen often. I'm usually waffling, but you did make me go silent a few times to think about certain things. So again, thank you. Thanks for being great. I hope you guys enjoy the game tomorrow. For those of you who are playing in other competitions like the Champions League, how boring. Joking. And yeah, we're going to obviously reunite to talk about the Nottingham Forest game before the weekend. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you have just popped in to have a look and you've enjoyed the content and you've enjoyed what you've heard, then please hit the subscribe button to follow the channel for more content. It's an exciting time. We're obviously following our Chelsea, so everything is on here. Like the video, and yeah, guys, I hope you have a great week. Thank you very much for joining, everyone, and of course, up the Chelsea.